Bop, bop. All right. Hey y'all, I'm Spiral and welcome on back to my channel. So last episode we built this whole strip right here from that little entrance down there all the way down this path, and it's beautiful. It looks so good. So today what we're doing is we're going to come up these stairs and we're going to turn this whole stretch right here all the way down to that cave and even a little bit past it. We're going to turn this into our shopping district. Now this is a big project, a big undertaking, because I've done interiors for everything that's going to go over here. We're going to have some super duper cute builds go in here, and it's going to take a lot. It's going to take so long. But that's okay. I love the grind. Speaking of the grind, we have to gather so many materials for this project. But that's okay. Like I said, I love the grind. So let's go and get all of the things we need for this build. Hey guys, Editing Spiral here. I straight up just forgot to record resource gathering. Whoops. Sorry. Uh, but I also apparently just, like, my audio got corrupted at some point. I don't know why this keeps happening. I gotta figure out why. So my audio got corrupted again, of course. So I don't have the transition that leads into the start of the build. So this is it. Have fun with the start of the build. For this building, I'm kind of making a flower shop style thing. It's really cute. I really love how it came out. And, I'll show you guys the interior of it a little bit later. This is just kind of the exterior design of it. And so our next building is, I've been calling it a clothier. It's supposed to look like a high-end fashion store, like where you would go to buy really nice clothing made by artisans, essentially. So we have a checkerboard floor, we have, places where our mannequins are going to stand, and everything is made of quartz, which took a while to gather in the nether because I don't have a villager, but I think it looks great. Now, our next one, though, is my favorite of all of them. It's the toy store. Maybe because I'm a giant child at heart, but I love toy stores. They're so fun to be in. So I really wanted to make this feel like a toy store. And so I went for more like a plushy style store here because that's what I prefer. But you'll see all of that in a minute. But I made, a bright pop of like pink and white floor. The walls are magenta and pink terracotta. And then we have so many shelves for all of the toys that we're going to be having in this store. And so after the toy shop, we have the barber shop, which I think is really cute. Clearly I had to dig it out and then, just giving it some... I didn't want it to stand out too much because, in my opinion, barbershops kind of don't stand out as much as other stores. But so the interior, I was kind of going for like a 1950s sort of style vibe with the interior. So we just have some plain terracotta walls and a checkerboard floor, and then just some seats and mirrors. Now, this part is just some extra terraforming that I had to do, and you'll see a little bit more later as well. I just really had to clean up that pathway. That's all. So, before I could really get into building the next two shops, I really had to light up the surrounding caves. As y'all know, I build things in a creative test world first, and then use Lightmatica to rebuild it block for block in my main world here. I opted not to light up the caves in the creative world, and my god, the mob sounds are horrendous. So, lighting needed to happen in the real world. It didn't take too long, maybe about 20 minutes or so, and I managed to collect some coal while exploring the caves, which was nice. Other than that, nothing really exciting or noteworthy happened, but hey, it was a necessary evil and it got taken care of. Okay, so now we're jumping into the build for the tavern, which, aside from the toy store, is my favorite build in the shopping district. I think you'll see, it looks great in the end. It's a bit of a cave mess right now. You can actually see where I've been filling in holes with the planks, and you'll see some deep slate a little bit later. I had to do a lot of terraforming just to get to the building aspect of this. So I clearly had to, remodel the way that the mountain looked and everything. But then I was able to jump into the build itself and start working on it. And as you can see here, I was going for a really, rustic, Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings kind of style build. And then the next one is our potion shop. And now the potion shop looks so incredibly dark. It's like insane how dark it is, but it's completely spawn proof. It's just the materials used to make it are just dark, and so it made it look dark on the interior. Alrighty guys, here we have our last two of our, what, five? 1, 2, 3, 4, of our 6 builds. We have here a cute little tavern, and we have over here our spooky little potion shop. Let's take a quick look in here. So as you can see, it's a pretty standard fantasy medieval kind of style tavern. I've even got like the dark corner where some handsome roguish fellow would be sitting here being all smoldering, and you know what I mean. But it's really cute, and I've got some sea pickles and pots sitting around for, like, you know, to look like cups and stuff. And then these are done with a mod. So it's 5 lightning rods kind of set upside down, and then these are dyed leather caps on an armor stand. And this is actually a mod that I've got that I was able to pretty precisely place the armor stands how I wanted, and then I can turn them invisible by clicking. So that's our tavern. And then over here we have our very spooky potions shop with our big cauldron here in the middle. And it looks much darker than it is because I've used black stone and deep slate for everything, and I've even got some gilded black stone in here as well. And it's just very, it gives such a great spooky vibe. Like, you might not come in here all the time, but the owner definitely knows their stuff, and they can definitely fix you for a price, which is always a great vibe for a spooky potion shop. And now that we have the interiors done for the most part, these kind of big major ones, we're going to go and get the interiors of our first 3 finished. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're zooming through this. This is the interior of the flower shop, and this one's pretty straightforward. I'm just basically putting flowers in pots. I did end up using the armor stand mod towards like the back to make these like bigger flower arrangement kind of style things, and I really like how they came out. I think that they came out really, really well. This was also kind of me experimenting more with the armor stands than I had in the tavern, just to kind of, you know, understand how it works and get kind of a better feel for it for my next project, which is a little bit bigger and more complicated than this. But I think it came out really, really well in the end, and it's so delightful looking at them. And here I am, I'm hanging these seeds across to make it look like they're either some sort of drying plant or, you know, there's like hanging seeds for decoration purposes, right? I think it's cute. And here is our flower shop. Isn't it so cute, guys? I really like how this came out. It's supposed to be just like a string of either seeds or some kind of drying plant. We use this hole in the ceiling to kind of put some leaves up in there, make it look like there's some life in the corners over here as well, and even in the corners kind of tucked away I've got like pots with flowers and more bushes kind of coming out. And it's super duper teeny, but I think it does a really great job of selling the point of it being a flower shop. And it's really cute, and I love it. Well, on to the next one. Alright, so this next one is the Clothier, which is supposed to be like a high-end, high-quality apparel store geared towards mostly, you know, a feminine audience, or people who like dresses. We're not picky here. Obviously, things are a little rough. This was really my first intensive practice with this armor stand mod, which I really enjoy, and I think it really helps to add a lot of life and detail to a world. It's just a little complicated and a little finicky and a little weird, but you know, it got across what I needed it to. This window display, I was trying to make just like a really nice looking like evening gown, and what I ended up making looked a little bit closer to something that maybe Frankenfurter would wear. But we don't judge. We don't judge. We love Frankenfurter, and maybe that wasn't my goal, but that's what it ended up looking like, and I'm not upset about it. It just wasn't my goal. But I had so much fun figuring out this mod with like all of the different like details you can add and everything you can do. I think I ended up utilizing it much better in the toy store, which we'll see here in just a couple minutes. And it's cute. I I if I were to redo this shop, I would do the clothes a little differently, I think. Okay, guys, as you can see, we've done a lot. Let's go inside. So we have our 6 mannequins on display, and I've been using this mannequin mod to get everything, the way it looks, like with poses and then with the extra details. And I have these two, which are just kind of boring. They're supposed to kind of look like men's suits, and let's be honest, men's suits are they're boring. But I have some cuter things and this kind of more like center feature one, and of course the eye-catching window display, which is you know, if she accidentally looks like a lady of the night, it that's fine. We support ladies of the night as well. But anyway, guys, I love how this came out. It was a lot trying to figure out and learn this new mod, and I think I can do better in the future. But I'm really happy with how this has come out so far, and let's go and do our very last one, the toy store. Okay, so like full disclosure, the reason that I got the armor stand mod is for this building specifically. I really wanted to make the toy store look alive with more than just like the heads from the head mod that I've got. I really wanted to make it look like a place a kid would go with their allowance and try to buy a parrot plushie or a ghast to hang from the ceiling or something. These three fish actually that we just passed, probably my favorite part. They're just super cute, and the way they're piled up, I love them. Mwah. As you can see, the mob head mod and the armor stand mod were utilized together to, add this effect to make all of these plushies look alive and unique. And maybe there's like multiples of some, like the slimes. I think all of the different chicken variants and stuff. Of course, the giant iron golem. Like, how can you not love a giant iron golem plushie? I want one in my room. This Enderman might have made me more angry than anything else in this entire game so far. And I've died like a million times. Just getting that armor stand mod to work with what I wanted the Enderman to look like was incredibly frustrating. I think at one point I just had to get up and walk away from my computer because I was losing my mind so much. I ended up having to rebuild the ghast like 2 or 3 times because I kept breaking it and having to rebuild it. And then we've got, gosh, the Blaze here. He ended up looking like a big old piece of pizza because I apparently thought I could do a Blaze well as a plushie. Wrong, couldn't. He looks janky, but that's okay. Oh, here I am fixing the ghast yet again. I think this is the third and final time I had to fix the ghast. And then what was after the ghast? I don't remember. Look at that ghast. Oh, I spent so long on him. More than I thought I did. Okay, this is my favorite part. The dragon, I had spent so much time working with these armor stands that I knew that the dragon was going to look great no matter what I did. So I just, went to town making the dragon first, obviously use the dragon head from the end and then built up its body like to look like a, kind of a lumpy snake. And then I added its legs, and then I said no to the wings because I love myself. Whew. Alright, guys. So we have officially finished all of the interiors of the shopping district, and boy howdy, was this took days. This took so much longer than I expected it to. And I mean, I love how each one came out. They're all very unique in the way that they look, and the vibe, especially of the tavern here. I really like how the tavern came out. Oh, so good. And then they each look so good and unique. And this one, I think I spent the most time in this room, just, getting these armor stand things to work. And yes, I'm aware the Blaze looks like a pizza. I don't care. And then just everything looks so good and cute and the way it should look in a toy store. And then of course we have the clothery, whatever I'm calling this, I'm not sure. And it's, it's cute. It's coming along. This was my first time kind of fiddling with the armor stand mod, and you can kind of tell. by the time I got around to doing the dragon over here, I had a much better idea of what I was doing. And they all just, everything just looks so good and everything came out so well. I'm so happy with it. But now, what we get to do is the exterior. The interiors all look great. So when you're in an interior and you turn around and you walk out into this boring road, it just doesn't look good. So we're gonna fix that. Shouldn't take near as long as the interiors, so let's go ahead and jump into it and get this place looking beautiful. You know what, guys? I think I'm done talking about all of the builds so far, so just enjoy the music and the build. All right, guys, we've done it. We've finished everything we've been planning for this episode, and I mean, it looks so good, guys. That's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this one, but boy howdy if it didn't take so much longer than I expected it to. I'm talking like days longer. That's why this episode might be a little like a week late. Sorry. If you did like the episode, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like, comment, or subscribe. It would really help a lot, and it means a lot whenever it happens. And you know, maybe I'll try to figure out a way to start incorporating you guys into this world in more concrete ways. I think that would be fun. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know, because I'd really like to add you guys in here somewhere. Maybe we can name some bunnies or villagers or something after you guys. That could be fun. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you had a good time. I know I sure did, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!